Saturday. Christmas comes early.
Unbelievable! Welcome to this incredible scene.
Bills.
To the end zone!
Chargers.
It's a touchdown!
An exclusive NFL game.
That's fantastic!
Live in primetime.
Wow!
Only on Peacock.
With a Christmas gift to their fans.
They're having some fun now.
Bills versus Chargers. Saturday, 7:30 Eastern. Exclusively on Peacock.
'Tis the season to shine with H&M. Discover the holiday collection and find fashionable pieces for your wardrobe or for under the tree. Get inspired and dazzle with this year's glam. From tuxedo styles, bow detailed pieces, impressive prints, and more. From unforgettable looks to unforgettable gifts. With fashion finds to home decor, find it all at H&M. Treat your loved ones and yourself this season. Shop in-store or at hm.com.
The holidays are a time to feel and create joy. And what could be more joyous than the look on her face as she unwraps a stunning new jewelry piece from Blue Nile? How about getting 50% off your purchase? Blue Nile offers premium quality, priced below traditional retail. Their online experts are available 24/7 to answer any questions and make sure you've picked the perfect gift. For a limited time, you can get 50% off at BlueNile.com. That's 50% off at BlueNile.com.
My football team's got me drinking. My football team's got me drinking. Give me beer, whiskey, wine or gin. Anything to shake this mood I'm in. My football team's got me drinking.
Back at it again with another episode of the Shades of Blue Soccer Show. One more week until Sporting KC finally plays again. I'm Cody Bradley, Thad Bell, and Robert Russert are here. We are the KC Soccer Journal. We're now in the third week of the summer break for Sporting Kansas City. After the
It's been long, hasn't it?
It feels like it's been a long time. After the early elimination from the Leagues Cup, which just wrapped up last night, Lionel Messi has already won a trophy for the last place team in Major League Soccer. What was that? Eight games, right? Or 7 games. And he has 10 goals. 10 goals in 7 games. And they've already hoisted a trophy. It was a wonderful game. I was actually working at an event. That was the Balloon Glow last night.
You were there? Okay.
At the World
we were
War
there
I.
for a bit.
Yeah, and there were no balloons. It was a balloon
None.
glow, and there were no balloons because it was mildly windy, so they didn't even put them up. All
It
those
was like
people
that last year.
gathered.
Yeah, so disappointing.
Yeah, it was pretty funny. Honestly, it was a very long day, and it was hot, and I was just rooting for anarchy by the end of it. I was really excited. There was a question of if the balloons were going to go up, and I'm like, no, keep them down. I just wanted to see the world burn.
There may have been more anarchy if the balloons did go up, though.
Oh, wow. Yeah, actually, I didn't even think of that. That's a valid point.
Like rolling across with the crowds, burying people under as they tumble across.
And there's flames going too, so that might have actually been a little too much anarchy. But the point being about this story was that I made them turn on, next to the Chiefs game, I made them turn on TUDN so I could catch Messi win this trophy. And it was a good game into PKs. Love a good keeper penalty shootout. I like when they both have to go. One great shot from the keeper and a good save from the other. So Thad, I see your name here. Your new bit that has been being stolen by everyone else on the show. Thad liked the Leagues Cup, so he seems to have decided officially that Thad liked the Leagues Cup. It was a good game. It was a good tournament for you, Thad.
I think I was one of the few people that actually was in favor of it from early on because
I think so.
I would get to see other teams that I don't normally pay attention to, like Miami, Monterey, teams like that. But yeah, no, I thought it was going to be at least a decent, fun thing to do and see if it would work going forward. And I kind of liked it. I didn't mind it. I mean, I didn't watch every game by a long shot, but yeah, it was good.
Did you watch the final last night?
Just the end. I was doing something else and kind of caught the end and watched the last bit before the penalties. And then as soon as it was done, I was over, man. I did not want to see anybody lift trophies.
I got to see a good trophy hoist. I had to tune in for that part. And Messi did the cool thing. He gave the captain's ban. to was that who was that?
DeAndre.
Oh
Yedlin?
yeah, Yedlin. That's right.
And they both lifted the trophy.
Yeah, that was cute. It was cool.
It was a classy thing to do.
Very classy. Messi's in
I don't think Ronaldo would have done that.
No, he would not. And I love Messi at this stage of his career. He's still killing it on the field. He's happy with his family. He's like doing them both at the same time. It's like this is like the retirement stage of his career. Like I think he is taking it a little more easy. He's enjoying this easier life here, and he's also dominating on the field.
So did you hear? Obviously, I don't think Cody you initially heard. Did you go back and listen to the highlights, either of you?
I did go. Yeah, I watched the highlights. Yeah.
So just as Messi picks up the ball, one of the commentators goes, "Uh-oh."
Oh yeah, yeah.
Perfect timing. Uh-oh.
He had one little drop of the shoulder, and it was on that left foot, and it was just uh-oh. There was nothing you can do from that point.
Nice, for sure.
I even brought in. So it was this event where they had the Chiefs game playing, and I was talking to anyone and everyone that would listen and trying to spread the game of soccer at this thing as well I could. And there were people that straight up I said the name Messi, and this person didn't even know who Messi was. And they got to see that goal, and it was a pretty goal, and they cheered, and it was good.
Oh, nice.
I made one new soccer fan, I think.
There you go. Spreading the gospel.
Doing my part in Sporting KC's off season here.
Yeah, see if they stick.
So Robert, what do you think this league has legs going forward?
Oh yeah, I
Leagues Cup,
definitely do. I think some Mexican teams are pissed off. First of all, because of the travel. Second of all, I think they're a little upset about the money. Maybe it's going to be more next time around. Probably will be. But yeah, I think it's definitely going to be a good thing going forward. And what I hear of other offers of European teams wanted to invite MLS teams or something like that to tournaments, or just things growing like that. So we'll see.
I haven't heard that. I'd be interested in hearing things like that.
Yeah.
And Thad, you mentioned, we talked about the Leagues Cup and the success of it previously. There were the problems, that took a lot out of the Mexican teams. The travel did, and so Thad pointed out the possibility of giving them a home base. You give them a stadium for the duration of the tournament. So yeah, there are things they can work on and improve, but I will call myself surprised that this thing did turn out nice, and it is like a trophy that is worthy to be played. At the beginning of this, I wanted the team to just, all MLS teams, to just throw it away and play the bench, but no, this was good. They've won me over officially.
And it was good that it was a break for all the teams, so that it wasn't like trying to mix up, lineups and stuff. Everybody could put out their best lineup if they wanted to, and I think most teams did.
For the World Cup, you like fill your DVR with games, right? And you want those to be games you want to go back and watch. There are about 5 or 6 games in the Leagues Cup that I would go back and watch because they were such good games.
Yeah, that's a valid point. I don't consume soccer like that, but that is a good barometer of good football or good.
I think that would make a good
played.
top 5 list, Robert.
Yeah. Yeah. Robert's top 5 games he's got on his DVR yet to watch.
There you go.
So what happened?
Again and again.
We mentioned Monterrey. What happened to Monterrey in that third place game? Did they not play their starters? Is that what happened there? 3-0 to Philadelphia? I
didn't care enough to watch that one.
Yeah, I didn't look at the lineup, but I don't think they were too into it. They're just like, get us home, man.
Yeah, I mean, at that point when so many of the teams were fighting that struggle of the travel, then they had to go play a third place game that genuinely didn't matter.
But it did matter.
They already had a Champions Cup position locked up, Monterrey, right? So it didn't matter for them for that.
The third place.
I don't know.
They already did.
I didn't realize that. Okay.
I think they did, yeah.
But the third place game mattered for that.
Yeah.
It did, yeah.
Okay. Learn something new every day. And the break in MLS schedule is over today. Games are starting here. We're recording early evening, and the round of games are starting up again. And so I guess Sporting Kansas City just got lucky. We've already played so many games more than everyone else that we just got one extra week here.
Yeah. Everybody makes up those 1 or 2 games in hand now.
Well, there are teams that have 3 right now in hand on us, so.
Right. Okay. any other thoughts on the Leagues Cup before we move on, close the book on that chapter? It's so funny to me that Miami has done all of this. They've hoisted a trophy and then are just immediately going back to last place.
All right. So, hey, favorite goal of the tournament from Messi? You guys have a choice.
It's got to be a Messi goal, right? Just the favorite goal of the tournament has to be one of his.
Well, favorite Messi goal of the tournament. Yeah, it's got to be the free kick to tie it late, right?
Yes, it's got to be that free kick. I'm giving it to that one. It was the first one, and just something about it.
It does feel very scripted, though, that Messi comes into the league, comes off the bench, scores a goal, everything goes right, they win it all.
I know. I've got some cynical friends that everything that happened in this tournament, it just unfolded the way that they were saying it was going to, and to be scripted. But that's Messi. I don't know. Messi and his buddies come and they turn everything upside down.
Well, you were talking about the PK shootout with the goalkeepers. I mean, gosh, he just went up there and whacked that ball, and that can go wrong easy.
Yeah.
So it worked out for him, but that can go wrong easily.
That's why I love the keeper penalties. They're waiting for that moment their entire lives. And the announcer actually said that he had been taking some in training and was ready for it. But yeah, that was a hell of a strike. About as good as anyone took in the whole round.
Most keepers do take penalties when they're getting ready for games like this, though. So I mean, it's not that unusual. But.
Yeah,
but Pinico, or however you say his name, did not look confident stepping up for his. It's like, oh no, he's gonna miss this, or he's gonna get saved.
Yeah, and it was because the one that he saw from the other keeper was such a strong shot that it was like, oh my
Right.
God, I wasn't ready for that. I can't do that. Okay, let's move along here. Sporting Kansas City. San Jose is coming to town on Saturday. San Jose is actually playing here this evening, so I guess it is most other teams are in action tonight.
Yeah.
So, they're playing Vancouver tonight. Last time we played 3-0 loss back in April. That was one of the Castellanos red card games. He did have multiple, right? Did I add on to it just because it was so painful? But yeah, he had that was one of, or at least the Castellanos red card game.
Maybe you're thinking of some of the mistakes he
Yeah.
made that felt like red cards.
Yeah, they just felt like it. So, Robert, remind us what Sporting Kansas City has been doing in their MLS form.
Well, in their MLS form in the last couple of games, I don't remember, to be honest with you. But like we were saying, they have 2 to 3 games in hand on people that they're trying to beat out for a spot. 9 matches left, 5 home, 4 away. Those away ones are at Miami, at St. Louis, at RSL, and at Minnesota. So 6 of the 9 teams they played in the last 9 games are playoff position teams at the moment. So it's not exactly an easy schedule. But they've got to optimize points as soon as they can. If they don't win against San Jose, then it's probably not going to happen for sure. I mean, mathematically it could still happen, but
not a lot of margin for error in these last games.
No.
And that was very well done by you. I apologize for throwing it to you the wrong way. I heard.
Oh, you're good.
Before I heard you, he said he was looking at the games. He was looking at the next 9. I thought he was looking at the last previous game.
No.
So I thought I was setting him up really well, and I set him up wrong. But well done there. Thank you for that. Yeah, a lot of.
I mean,
go ahead.
The positive to this is the first 2 games on this stretch are at home. So if we can get some momentum there, who knows what could happen.
Yeah, it's such a weird thing. They're right there at the playoff line. 9 games left. There's so many points left on the table. 27 points. Like, you could do so much damage with that. You could climb the table a lot in theory with that. But at the same time, it just feels like, holy crap, they can't drop any of these points. The margins will be very thin. They are at the bottom of the table, and other teams are going to falter as well. But yeah, like you said, I think coming out of the gate here with the finish, the home stretch, I think these first 2 at home are really going to be very important.
And they need those teams to drop points above them, man, because there's, like Robert pointed out, there's 2 or 3 games Minnesota has 3 games in hand. That's right above them. Houston, which is the 9th place team, has 2 games in hand. They're only 3 points out, but they have lots of opportunity to make up points on Sporting.
And a lot of these other teams got the rest that Sporting got as well. The only teams that didn't, that went deep, were Miami and Nashville, and we play each of them. But everybody else is just as rested as we are.
But hey, Polito got a little extra rest.
There you go.
Thanks for that reminder, Thad.
It took Cody a second to catch on to what I meant.
No, I thought you were gonna have more to say. You just wanted to drop that bomb there and then leave it. Okay. I would also point out, yes, they need those other teams to lose, but I'm gonna be that guy and just say we're dropping the first 10 games of the season, and we're gonna look at the form since then, and that form is not bottom of the table form. Still not as good as we've wanted it to be since they got all these players back. Every time you think that they're like out of the woods, then they falter again. But there is reason to believe that they can play better than their spot on the table. And I feel good about it. I do see us sneaking into the playoffs. And I also see Miami sneaking into the playoffs and then beating everyone again.
Do you really think so? Do you really think that's going to happen?
I mean, what is there any reason to doubt it at this point? I understand your hesitancy, but I mean, come on. They're going to be able to lose some of these games now and still be able to like get into the playoffs. Like, I don't know.
Yeah, but they got ran into the ground during this tournament.
Yeah.
He did not sub a whole lot, and those 3 guys have got to be tired. And I tell you what, I mean, Busquets, he has impressed, but there are times when he's just not been impressive. He's kind of a wimp. Sometimes he doesn't take a foul very well, and I don't know. We'll see.
He's very much the one of the 3 that is not going to do the running, and he's going to rely on, like, he's just that old guy that is not in shape. He's got his tricks, and he has an amazing skill, and he can still make those passes. But yeah, he's not going to be doing the running a lot, and he's going down easy, and yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
And they're 12 points out, man.
Okay, yeah, that's a lot. Maybe they can't lose any of these other games.
They have, they've only played 22 games, so they have 1 or 2 games in hand on everybody above them, but that's a lot of points to make up. You can maybe do it with Messi scoring a lot, but remember, he might be gone for games against Argentina, or for Argentina, rather. And that would be the same time that Sporting was playing them.
Yeah, that'll be actually an interesting discussion. What is the game? What the international break is for? What games for Argentina? Are they friendlies? Are they important matches? I think all of the really important matches are kind of wrapped up, aren't they?
Yeah, I don't think it's anything important, but I think he just wants to be in Argentina as a World Cup champion.
Yeah, that's true. I think he's got to do his victory laps. But I don't know. Maybe we'll see. It might be an interesting thing. Maybe he will get there. They'll be on the verge. He'll start winning some games, and he'll see the mission is with Inter Miami, and he can't leave, and he needs to be there for his team.
Maybe.
Wouldn't put it past him. But also, yeah, you got to go play for Argentina. You got to go put on La Albi Celeste and do the victory laps after the World Cup.
I don't know. When he sees Sporting on the schedule, he might circle that date. So, he
got to get that win.
might make a point.
He wants to trade jerseys with Polito.
That's what it is. Do you see who got his Messi's jersey in the Leagues Cup final?
No.
Cody will be proud.
Who?
Dax McCarty, fellow Ginger.
Oh, did he? Good job.
Yeah.
Dax got in there.
He's like the only guy on the other team that's close to the same size.
I was actually rooting for David to be here, who couldn't make it. He's being a dad today.
For good reason.
I wanted to hear him talk about Walker Zimmerman's just dive in on Messi on that goal. David seems to have very little patience for any time a defender sticks out a leg and it doesn't work. And that was Walker Zimmerman, one of the best of us on defense in our entire nation. And it looked like a training ground game for Messi. I was excited to hear him defend that.
Well, back to Sporting, Cody. I felt bad, so I went back. Sporting in their last 9 games before the Leagues Cup, 3-2-4. 3 wins, 2 losses, 4 draws.
Man, see, like, how is that possible? It seems like they were playing so much better.
Well, that's only 2 losses. That's the positive, but ties aren't going to do it to get this playoff spot.
No, they need to turn the draws into the points into threes.
For sure. So that's only 13 points out of a possible 27 right there.
Yeah. Yeah, and there's 27 points left on the table now, and 13 is not going to do it this time.
No.
Probably not.
But they're, so we'll see.
Okay, we'll keep moving. This morning, very early this morning, Spain won the Women's World Cup over England. And that is just a crazy situation right now. We haven't even talked about the Spanish women's national team and the drama with their coach on this show yet. But Thad, did you watch the game? Did you see any of the highlights from it? Did all 3 of us check out after the U.S. lost? Was anyone still watching them?
I was.
I hung in for I wanted Australia to win, but I couldn't get up for this one.
I did not get up for the 3rd place game, so I will admit that. But I got up for the game this morning. I got up for several of the games that I cared about, and not all of them, but I was up at 5, watched the game, made breakfast at halftime.
Yeah, that's too early. They definitely need to form all the women's World Cups around the American time zones. I'm sorry.
Yeah, Spain, excellent team, man. I was hoping they would win because I did not want to hear we're coming home for England anymore. I hate that. Screw them.
It's coming.
Agreed.
It's one of those I really could have rooted against both teams because of things that Spain's coach federation has done. But the Spanish players, man, were just so talented, so good.
Yeah.
They were more fun to watch, and I'd rather hate England.
They're a very fun team to watch. They were passing the ball around like you would assume any Spanish team ever would, and it was they're a very good team. I was rooting for them as well. But there is the weird situation that Thad just mentioned with the head coach. At some point last year, 15 of their best players all said, citing conditions, environment around that this coach has created, that they were not going to be playing anymore. They refused to get rid of this coach. Vilda is his name. And while the players were still celebrating this win on the field, the federation tweeted out a picture of him, and it said Vilda in. And so there's just this weird animosity between the players on the field that are doing these amazing things and winning the World Cup and their federation and even their coaching staff. And there were just some pretty incredible scenes throughout this tournament of the coach trying to celebrate with them after a win and being shunned, or high-five them coming off the field. And yeah, it's insane that they were able to win this tournament, and that it seems like the federation, all the way down to the social media manager, is just here for it to, poke at the team, poke at the players that they know are not happy with any of this. Thad, what do you think about all of this?
It's incredibly sad that there are so many issues still out there. Like, as bad as some of that was, think about Nigeria. I don't know if you've paid any attention to that.
Yeah.
The coach there, Randy Waldrum, former Pittsburgh, Notre Dame, Houston, NWSL coach. He's coached Trinidad. I've actually tried to tweet out stuff for them to help raise money back when he was coaching Trinidad because they were so poor. But they got mad at him and they wouldn't let him bring one of his assistants along that does all the video stuff. One of their own PR people was calling him a terrible coach. Like, your own PR person, calling you a terrible coach.
That's not a PR person.
It's incredible how bad all of that is. So
it looks like Spain has no intention of resolving this in any way if they're still behind this coach. And then that's another weird dynamic that they won with this coach in charge, but then, what is the locker room environment like? Or is he just standing there in front of them saying these things and they're not listening? Or, and then how, he has to decide the tactics and they have to follow. I can't even, I want to see a documentary of what went on during this World Cup. It's really an amazing story, with an unfortunate story, and it seems like it's just going to continue as well.
I wonder how many of them will actually walk away now that they've won the World Cup
Right.
and they don't have something to prove for the next couple years at least.
Right, and then you'd think that the power is kind of in their hands right now, that they can, at least when the U.S. wins a World Cup, then they want to do all these games and friendlies and this tour to get all these games in. And if none of their players are going to do this for Spain now, then, I don't know. We'll see.
I do have a question though. Did you watch the awards ceremony after that this morning?
I didn't.
They had the Queen of Spain, I think Princess of Spain up there.
Nice.
And FIFA people and all that stuff. But there was one guy at the end of this that was next to the royal people. They was just like hugging players and lifting them up in the air, and it was like, who is this guy? I was trying to figure it out, and I haven't figured it out yet. So
Okay, by the end of the show, you're gonna have to figure that out.
yeah, that's probably not going to happen if I haven't figured it out already.
We'll Google it. You gotta figure it out, or maybe one of our commenters, our viewers, our listeners can help you out on that one. Way to go, Thad! You gotta. He just derails the show every time. Great, you set it up wonderfully, but we're not gonna get the payoff for it.
I was going to you for answers, man, because you're like informed.
You should have done this before the show. How great of a payoff would that have been? We could have ended the show with figuring out this strange man. Okay. Listeners, get on that. The Current got a win. What day was that? Friday night?
It was.
Friday night. 1-0 over the OL Reign. SKCII got the goal. Were you in attendance, Thad?
I was. That's Cash Money Kaiser now.
Cash Money Kaiser. We calling her that now? I didn't know that.
Her nephew, cousin, somebody in her family called her that. So that she did the celebration after she scored of, like the pay me the money kind of thing.
Yeah.
She did something. She said it was interesting though, because she said it was a really hard week for her. That she had a lot of stuff going on off the field, and it was very much a mental struggle. And then she didn't start, and she's always tore up about that. So coming on and scoring that goal was really huge for her personally.
Interesting. Maybe you should interview her and see if there's more there.
I will probably try. I don't know how it's. Sometimes they have personal issues, man. They don't want to talk about it, and that's I'm not going to push it and stalk them.
Of course. Okay. The Swope Park Rangers got a 1-0 win, also over Minnesota United 2. Benny's boys are in 4th place. It seems like they are.
Benny is the greatest coach ever. Benny should be the Sporting Kansas City coach. There's no doubt about it. Oh, sorry, just doing my David imitation.
Yeah, we're filling in for David IRL there. Yeah, it seems like they're winning more games. Weren't they poor to start the season in the same way that Sporting KC was?
I won't say poor, but they've kind of been, up and down at different times also. Just not as bad by a long shot. They've had a couple. In fact, I think they had a couple game losing streak before this game. It was either before this game or 2 games ago.
Yeah, it was 2 losses in a row and then 2 wins.
Yeah, so they've had a little struggle at times.
Tell us about this win, Thad.
Alanis Vargas got the goal. He's
took a shot on that name there. We'll count. We'll count it.
Vargas, I think, is pretty close.
Vargas,
the rest of it. But he's been performing really well for him. And with Pau Vidal, who got injured a couple games ago, actually tweaked something in warmups and tried to go, and then they pulled him out pretty early in the game. So he's been one of their consistent scorers. It was a pretty first team lineup though yesterday. Also, Felipe Hernandez, Cam Duke, Rindolph, Pulskamp.
Nice.
I think Flores. But those guys played fairly well. But it was their SKCII players who actually looked the best. So
So you think they're trying to keep Pulskamp sharp during this layoff, and that's why he played, or is it a hint that, Emilia's going to be coming next week?
Mm-hmm.
I think it's just keeping him sharp. That's been pretty much historically. When they play at home and they don't need a player like the next couple days, they'll give the keeper a shot down there.
Mm-hmm.
So that's McIntosh got a lot of games down there the last couple of years. Pulskamp's got a lot of games down there the last couple of years.
All right. Anything we're missing from the soccering world this past week, gentlemen? Or the upcoming week? I think we've got it all.
Just going back to SKCII for a second, they're returning to their roots for their next two home games are at Swope Park.
Oh, really?
Oh,
yes.
That was good timing of me calling them the Swope Park Rangers.
So they have 5 games left, 2 of them at home, and they will be down at Swope Park.
What for? Why are they doing that?
They did it last year too, where they played some in Lawrence at Rock Chalk Park and some at Swope. This year they only played 2 down there. I think last year it was 4.
Okay.
But it may be just because they're like college soccer starting up, so there might they need the stadium.
All right, I might have to go check out Benny's Boys.
Yeah, it's a lot easier trip down there at least for me.
Yeah, than Lawrence. Okay.
So Vlatko stepping down is.
There we go.
You think? I think I know what you think, that he's headed to the Current, but would they announce that before the end of the season? You think, or would they wait till the off season?
What makes you think I think he's headed to the Current?
You've hinted at it before.
No, I have not.
I haven't heard him. Not on this show, at least.
Alluded to it. Okay.
No, I have not.
Okay. All right.
You got to think about this, okay?
He's adamant.
I'm not saying he's not going to go. This is not me saying that. I know that they are trying for him very hard. I know they are. But you have to keep in mind the coach that's with the Current the first year, Hugh Williams, and some of the things that may have not been treated as well as he should have been was these current owners. The guy who coached them the second year took them to the final. Matt Potter was an assistant for Vlatko. He knows exactly what went down with all of that, which I don't think is perhaps done as well as it should have been done. So he knows all that. If he goes into that situation, he's going to have to go into it with a guarantee of certain amounts of control that has not been there for the other coaches.
Yes, good point.
So that's why I've not ever said that he was likely to go there. I would like him to go there.
Right.
I think it's is that new reporting though that that the team is working on it, that the team wants to do it? I don't know that I've heard that anywhere else.
No, it's been elsewhere that they are.
Okay.
I may have been a little bit more adamant about it, but yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, I know they've talked to him.
All right, gentlemen. 1 week left. I'm excited for this final stretch, 9 games. And will everyone be there this weekend?
Yep.
Need to make sure Thad is not writing any of the recaps for this last 9-game stretch. I'm assuming
He only does it if he has to.
Yeah. I'm assuming you'll be taking pictures, so I think we're in good shape for the San Jose game on Saturday.
Yeah, at least for the home games, I don't normally do a recap. So.
Morning.
Don't seem so tough, and 3 own goals ain't all that rough. Our skipper has just been sent off. Some punter strong have all gone soft. My football team's got me drinking. My football team's got me drinking. My football team's got me drinking. Give me beer or whiskey, wine or gin, anything to shake this mood.